Hello guys, today let's see the tips to keep African cichlids, especially Malawi. This is for beginner who want to learn how to keep them. So let's go. Hi, so the three lakes in Africa, Malawi, Tanganyika and Victoria. Today let's talk about Malawi fish. Lake Malawi is an African Great Lake. So three types of Malawi cichlids are Mbunas, peacocks and haps. Let's talk about these in a different video, their behavior. So the first point is water parameters. Even though the cichlids are hardy fish, they require clean water. So their tanks, before adding the fish, the tank should be cycled and they require hard water, and their TDS should be above 300 and they require warm water. Cycling your tank is important, converting ammonia into nitrite, nitrate into nitrate. So it is important to test the water. Ammonia should be 0. Nitrite should be 0. Nitrate should be less than or equal to 20 ppm. And it is important to test the TDS of the cichlid tank. The TDS of cichlid tank should be greater than 300 ppm. It is important to test the pH of African cichlid tank. pH of African cichlid tank should be greater than 7. It is important to maintain the pH of African cichlid tank. And let's talk about how to maintain the pH of African cichlid tank in another video. African cichlid tank require a slightly warm water, so the temperature should be between 26 degree to 28 degree Celsius. It is important to maintain the temperature between these. So during winter season, it is ideal to keep a thermometer and a heater to maintain this temperature, so that during winter season the water might fluctuate and fish might get shocked. So it is ideal to maintain this temperature. Right tank size. If you're keeping different varieties of African cichlids, then you must keep a large tank. If you're keeping a species tank, you might go with the medium sized tank depending upon the size and the temperament of the fish. An Mbuna should be kept in different tank as they are aggressive and mostly herbivorous. Haps and alunakara are mostly kept together as they are open water swimmer. The different species of African cichlids because they require their own space and they are territorial. So it's better to keep larger tank rather than keeping a small one, and then you might find it difficult to upgrade to the bigger tank. So if you want to keep a species tank like this, you can keep in a medium sized tank depending upon the size and temperament of the fish. These are trophious varieties. Food. It is better to give the best quality food for your African cichlids. There are different types of food in the market like pellets, granules, flakes, wafers and homemade food like green peas, egg white and shrimps. Okay, healthy fish are those fish which are active during feeding. Now, how do you feed these fish? It is important that each and every fish get enough food. So, how do you feed them? So, it is better to feed both floating as well as sinking pellets or flakes or granules, because there are some fish which likes to eat from surface, and there are some fish which stays below because of their shy in nature. So it is better to feed sinking as well as floating food so that each and every fish get enough food. During certain time some of the fish might not get food, so it is better that each and every fish get enough food so that that doesn't affect their growth in future. And never overfeed these fish. Feed as much as they can eat within a minute and remove the uneaten food from the tank. Overstocking your African cichlids to spread aggression and providing them better hiding spots for every cichlid. So this is cichlid fight. This is called lip lock. Now overcrowding plays a very significant role in curbing aggression among cichlids. Why is the case? When overcrowded in a tank, it becomes extremely difficult for some aggressive fish to focus on others most of the time. In other words, it gets difficult for dominant fish to single out their victim. So it is highly important to overcrowd such cichlids tank. Now you might think overcrowding may lead lot of fish waste in the tank. Yes, that is true, but there are certain rules to overcrowd the fish tank, that is especially cichlid tank. First of all, you need a large tank when you overcrowd such fish, and second, you need a better filtration when you overcrowd cichlid tank, majorly because cichlid releases lot of waste. So when you overcrowd fish, you need a better filtration and large tank. In such way, you can, if you follow these rules, you can surely overcrowd your cichlid tank. Okay, I think this video you have seen in my previous topic. Especially when I started cichlid tank, I thought these were playing, but after my research, actually they were fighting. So then I thought there is something wrong in my tank. Because of different sizes of fish and different varieties of fish, this happens, and also due to the few fish in the tank, this happens. So you can reduce such things in your tank by keeping a proper setup for the cichlids, by keeping the same varieties of fish, same sizes of fish in your tank, and by overstocking your fish tank with proper filtration and with the proper setups. So such things can be reduced, or else there will be a failure in your tank, there will be a problem in your tank. So it is ideal to overcrowd your African cichlid tank. So the question is whether it is sand or gravel. Sand is preferred substrate for African cichlid due to many reasons. People usually use crushed coral and aragonite sand for African cichlid to increase the pH of African cichlid tank. This is usually important for African cichlid tank. So now you might ask, why sand is preferred substrate? There are a lot of reasons why sand is used in African cichlids. I'll let you know in my next video, and you'll come to know the reason why exactly sand is the preferred substrate. So in nature, African cichlids tend to live in a sand-based lakes. So cichlids do their majority of feeding by scavenging in sand. Some cichlid species will ingest a small amount to aid in digestion. So you can see the video that most of the cichlids move the sands in search of food. This is done every now and then. So it is better to provide them sand as a substrate in their tank, which is really helpful for them. So another reason is they move the sand now and then. This is really to build the nest. So during breeding, the dominant fish will build the nest. So it is highly important to provide them sand because it is easy for them to move the sand during breeding. So it is important the substrate. So the different types of filter are sponge filter, hang-on back filter, top filter, canister and sump filter. So you have to use a filter in such a way that filter should process all the water 5 to 6 times an hour. So if you have a 75 gallon tank, the filter should push at least 375 gallon water each hour. So if you have a small tank or a tiny tank, then you can use a sponge filter. If you have a larger tank or big tank, you should use canister and sump filter for the betterment of the fish. So you have to choose the filter properly for the betterment of the fish. So these are cichlid fries, cichlid babies. So when you have a fry like this, you can use a sponge filter. So it is ideal to use a sponge filter when you have a fish fries like this, so it will help them to grow in your tank. So when the babies or fries start to grow, you have to move them to a large tank. And in this you can see a different filter. This is called top filter, which is really efficient when the fish grows, and such filter is helpful when the fish start growing, when you have a large tank like this one. So the next level filtration is canister filter. Canister filter is ideal when the fish tank is more than 3 feet in length. It helps in the movement of water in a different way, and it fits in lot of medias, lot of sponges inside the filter, so it will help to improve the water quality in a different way. And the next level filtration is sump filtration. If effectively done, sump filtration is one of the best filtration for any tank which is more than 4 feet in length. It is really useful because a lot of medias can be included in some tank. So let us talk about this filtration in next or in a different video, how to use them and what are all the types of filtration. Okay, when you bring a new fish, it is better to quarantine the new fish for at least a week or 10 days to secure them, because you might not know the source of the fish from where they come. So it is better to quarantine them, because if they have any diseases with them, they might infect your main tank. So it is better to quarantine them for a week and see the behavior, how they behave in the quarantine tank, and then after a week, if everything is fine, you can move them to the main tank. Okay, next is acclimating the new fish. It is highly important to acclimate the new fish, because when you bring the new fish, the temperature might be different in your bag, and the temperature in your tank might be different, and the pH and the TDS level of your tank might be different from the fish you have brought. So it is highly important to acclimate them for at least 15 minutes to your tank, and then slowly releasing the fish would be great, because if you release them immediately, they might get shocked, they might not get adjusted to your tank. So it is good to acclimate the new fish in your tank or in a quarantine tank for 15 minutes. Let's talk about acclimating new fish in a different video, how to acclimate them in an effective way. Adding new fish to established tank is a bit challenging. Now after quarantining, you need to add your fish back to your established tank, your main tank. So when you add your new fish to your tank, the sizes might be big or small, but there will be a chasing for a few minutes, maybe few half an hour, 1 hour. There will be, because the fish which have already in the tank as dominant nature in them, they will not allow any new fish to establish the tank. So the lower level fish will start chasing the new fish. So that is the reason you have to add 3 or 4 African cichlid to your main tank. This is because the aggression will be spread out to all the 4 fish which you add, all the 3 fish or 4 fish. So if you add a single fish, what happens is the single fish will get targeted. So this would be your reaction when you add new fish into your tank. So if you are not successful adding back to the new fish to the main tank, you can remove the new fish and add them back to quarantine tank for time being. And then you can transfer them back to the main tank slowly by removing 50% of water from your main tank and slowly feeding the remaining fish. It might distract the remaining fish, and then you can slowly add the new fish to your tank. So in this video you can see there is one dominant fish which has moved all the fish to other side. This is called the aggressive behavior of the fish. You can see the blue fish, it is trying to be dominant here. So if you're successful, your reaction would be like this. Okay, the fully grown male cichlids are colorful and vibrant than the female. This is why most of them opt for male only cichlid tank. Another reason is there is less aggression when there is no female. Because male doesn't find anything to attract in the tank, there will be no breeding in the tank, so the aggression level will be low in the tank. So if you guys really want to breed these fish, then you can opt for a different tank, that is called breeding tank, where there should be a 3:1 ratio. For example, 3 female for 1 male. This is actually followed by many people which they are successful in breeding such fish. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time for my next video, that is Tanganyikan cichlids and types of Tanganyikan cichlids. Okay, do subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching this video. Take care. Bye.